Welcome back to Bazaar. I'm Inko, and today I sat down to do an Overexplained Dooley run. But I kinda failed to do that. See, an important thing in an Overexplained run is that you're doing a largely transferable thing. That you explain how your build works and what you need to do, and the broad idea of how your build functions is going to be the same with any build. It doesn't matter if you're Aquatic Vanessa or One Weapon Vanessa, you're still going to shops for broadly similar reasons. The game still functions basically the same way. So if you're doing an Overexplained run and you get something crazy on day 12, the run's almost over, it's fine. But if you're doing an Overexplained run and you get a completely game-winning item on day 5, you kinda can't really teach anyone anymore. Sometimes you get a fiery DJ robot and the run's just over on day 5. There's nothing else to talk about. You just steamroll every opponent with a bunch of tiny little guys that are also on fire, and you really can't lose at that point. And that's what this run was. The first 5 days of this run, I really do try to do an Overexplained run, and I keep kind of doing an Overexplained run for the rest of it, but it's not a useful, functional Overexplained run, because, what are you supposed to learn from the second half of this run? That Fiery DJ Robot is good and you should pick him up? I think you already knew that. But it's still a steamroller of a run with a lot of interesting choices to be had. It's just not an Overexplained run that's useful to other people for learning the game. But it's still a very interesting, very powerful run. And the first 5 days, which I think are the most important days to understand and play optimally, are an Overexplained run that I think have a lot of valuable teachable moments. Anyway, here's the run. I hope you enjoy it. This is not going to be like a most basic guide for Dooley. If you want the core gameplay mechanics, that's not what this video is for. This is for me really thoroughly explaining my thought process to the best of my ability for every step of the run, so you can better understand how Legend players like myself are making their decisions and try to emulate what we're doing. In my normal runs, I try to explain myself pretty well, but I'm going to go much more in-depth into how I make my decisions and show you the same sorts of resources I use for stuff like howbazaar.gg to inform my decisions during this run, so that there's more for you to take away from it. Now, with Pig and Vanessa, I would obviously have to say, like, hey, these are enabled before I run them. Dooley doesn't currently have card packs, so interestingly for Dooley, a minor optimization thing you can do is turn off these card packs. Now, how does that make Dooley better? Now they don't show up at Pearl. And it turns out that if you look at the contents of these card packs, except for Ice Luge, all of these are basically bad items in Dooley. And if you look at the contents of Vanessa's pack, none of these are good items for Dooley. So it is better to disable Vanessa's pack, and it's probably better to disable Pig's pack. Personally, I have a hard time imagining a board where Ice Luge fits, so I will disable it. But ultimately, I think both packs make Pearl worse right now, so I will disable them before we get into the run. Now, heading into Dooley's workshop, unlike the other characters, you start by picking a core. Now, I personally am of the opinion that most of the cores are not great. I think Armored Core is by far in the worst spot of any core, and I think Ignition Core and Companion Core are by far the best cores. Ignition Core is number 1 by a mile, and then there's a lot more competition for number 2. I don't personally like Weaponized Core, but of these two, I think it's my best choice. I think you can scale damage on weapons and get some free wins on the first 2-3 days, maybe sometimes, if your opponents are weak. I don't think Armored Core ever gives me a way to get early wins, and frankly, with both of these cores, I don't plan to take them to the late game. I plan to take them off of my board relatively soon, so I'm just looking for the one that's better in the first 5 days. Now, getting into the normal kit choice, Dooley starts with 4 less gold than anyone else because he essentially has to pay to buy the core. Now, you can choose to start with 12 gold and 2 income. This is better for Dooley because he has less starting gold. And it is also better in that the things you generally win the run with are not small enchanted items, and they are not single gold skills. I find that this is going to give me much better ability to pivot into other things. Now, the enchanted item start, I think, is pretty much always a trap on Dooley. I think that if you're trying to get early power, you go with gold tier skill. If you get a burn or poison skill that can really just carry you in the early game, even left or right-handed, it can be pretty damn good. I think gold tier skill has a lot of merit, but frankly, 12 gold, 2 income is what I'm most comfortable with, and in no small part, that is because of power drill duping and this making it much easier to accomplish that. We'll talk more about that when it comes up, but for now, the ability to go into winning strategies given by this gold is very valuable to me. I'd be more inclined to take a gold tier skill if I had hit a better core, because I'm not super comfortable trying to win on the early days with weaponized core compared to an ignition core. If I had taken ignition core, I think I would take a gold tier skill, but having missed it, I'm going to go income. Now, on our first hour, we're given the choice of metal for medium items, we're given a strange mushroom, and we're given 3 bronze tier chocolate bars. And immediately, we need to start with, what do you do if you don't know what any of this shit means? Because a new player doesn't, and they can't do anything in-game to find out. Well, to find out what metal does, what you can do is you can go to howbazaar.gg, go to their item search, turn on medium items starting at bronze because it's day 1, so you don't see anything higher than bronze, Dooley items, and this is what metal will sell. Unfortunately, it does show all items, so like obviously she can't sell the core, can't even talk right now, but she can sell Brick Buddy, Chem Snail, Fuel Rod, lots of items. However, most of them are honestly not great. Aside from Microdave, Power Drill, not a lot of this I'm super hyped about. And then coming over to another thing I had bookmarked, I have an encountered cheat sheet that I took a screenshot of off of Reddit a while back. If you want to know what the Jungle Ruins does, wait, that's not Jungle Ruins, it is Strange Mushroom. Gives you a neutral item or 3 gold. That's actually incorrect, it's 4 gold. And if you have a bushel over here, it tells you about the secret option to get plus 20 heal to your bushel. Now, because we took gold start, we don't need to go Strange Mushroom. If I had taken a different start, I'd probably go Strange Mushroom here. But because we took gold, I'm safe to go to middle. Very happy to see a rocket launcher. That gets scaled up by weaponized core pretty meaningfully, gives us a very good chance of winning on day 1. Now, in the long run, maybe I'm playing Microdave, maybe I'm not. It's not easy to switch to Microdave quickly. I don't think I want to spend 4 gold on him right now, but I do want to roll to see if I can get a bronze power drill, and I can. Now, why is power drill important? We need to start talking about frame of mind. Every decision you make needs to be informed by whether or not you think you can win today and how you think you might win to go to 10 wins ultimately in the very long run. So I was already talking about trying to win early with weaponized core before I came to this shop. I came here predominantly for rocket launcher. It is the best weapon I could have got to win my day 1 fight. But I needed to find a weapon, period, to put something behind this. So middle is just helping me win day 1. And I do want to get a couple of early wins because I have this weaponized core that can help me do that before I eventually drop it for a bigger, more board-consuming strategy. And that is what Power Drill is for. It's going to be hard to do this when you first start the game, but you will eventually start to pick up on things where
let me know if I can help.
You recognize that something you start doing on day 1 leads into a game-winning strategy on day 12. Power Drill is one of these things. Over the course of this run, because this will be a drill run, it's a Dooley Overexplained run, doing anything other than a drill run is probably inaccurate to the real state of the meta. But over this run, you will see why it's so important to start trying to set up for drill early and understand what it can do. And very soon, we're going to show off how to duplicate when we get our second power drill, because we're going to be getting a second power drill. If you get a bronze item this early in the game, it's very reliable that you find a way to duplicate it. For now, though, we're done at the shop. We don't need Chem Snail or Armadillo today. Now, this is actually an interesting choice. For day 1 fights, you beat every enemy except Viper with an empty board. However, Viper also has the only enchanted item. The Toxic Fang is actually pretty good. If you miss the Fang, you might still get a weapon, which I care about as weaponized core. Lash Out is 3 DPS, which is more than most weapons on day 1. Gland is essentially negative 1 DPS for your opponent. It's very good. Extract is worth 2 gold. Viper, being the hardest to kill, makes sense because they have the best rewards, generally. But Pyro has 2 cinders, which sell for 2 and give +1 burn. I have a rocket launcher. Lighter, which is, bad. That would be a miss. And Fiery, which is, it doesn't give me 2 gold, but it's going to affect every burn on my run and give me more burn right now. So this is the rare sort of situation where you'll find that since there is something on the board directly synergistic with what you're doing, you go for Pyro. Occasionally you'll find yourself going for Pyro over Viper when you actually kill Viper. Even when you don't have a burn item, like if you're playing Pig, you might do this, just because Matchbox is so strong in Pig. But here, we are just very happy to come here. There is only 1 miss, and most of the things on Viper don't actually make us stronger today anyway. It would be a future thing, because this is always going to be our 2 items going into the PvP fight. Now, please, anything other than the lighter. Just this once. That is the best hit. It doesn't give me the gold, but I took the gold start. I don't need it. Curio is interesting. He's a 4 gold roll. And even though I took the economy start, a 4 gold roll is not really tenable. Jungle Ruins is not great unless you are Pygmalion or Vanessa. If you're Pygmalion, this can give you +2 gold income. If you're Vanessa, it can give you a random small silver item. There are a lot of hits there. Get an item is obviously not great. I legitimately do not remember what Jungle Ruins does. It's 3 regen or 2 bronze loot items. 3 regen is a meaningfully increased chance of winning my PvP fight, so I am going to come here and take this. rather than spending a lot of gold at Curio, even though Curio has one major hit with the Salamander Pup. I do not have any food, I do not have any toys, and I do not have any friends. This is important because if you have those things, you can get a tiny furry monster for +1 experience. And it's very important that you get 2 bonus experience somehow before the end of day 2, because that's going to be enough for you to level up to 3 ahead of time and have extra board space, or sorry, to 4 ahead of time and have extra board space for your day 3 fight. Sadly, we can't actually get anything from Tiny Furry Monster right now. This is just +1 gold. We always go to JJ here. The earlier you are in the run, the more valuable shops are. Right now, I don't have a clear way to fill out my board. I don't have a clear direction in terms of where the run is going. The more locked in your board gets, the worse shops get. Right now, though, a shop can give me basically anything, and I'm able to find a use for it in the near future. Micro Dave is pretty bad here, right? I have nothing but medium items, nothing charging him. GPU doesn't do a whole lot, but it does something. I would rather have 2 small items than a power drill tomorrow. So I am going to take the GPU, even though it's pretty minor, and roll. Plasma Grenade is a weird one. It's very, very effective if you can stack it up, but at a 9-second cooldown and a base slow of 1, you really need to get some gunpowder, get a higher tier, maybe some curio buffs. It's really not very good. And I'm sad to say that I'm not going to be buying anything on the second page. Now, despite the fact that we took income, we had a pretty decent day 1. We got Fiery and a rocket launcher with weaponized core. Even though we took the greediest possible start, our odds of winning day 1 are quite high. We can get blown out by Highrolled. If she has burn skill and any burn item, we're down. They have strength, grappling hook, Langjin. Langjin is, these are both very slow items. I'm pretty confident we win this, because even though they have a gold starting skill, they have very weak methods of capitalizing on it, and I'm pretty confident they will die before the Langjin swings the second time. In fact, I am now certain of it.
Next time, boys, less blunder, more.
And that makes me feel very, very confident. If you take income start and manage to get a good early game in spite of it, you are so well set up to go 10 wins. We have a lot of figuring out between here and 10 wins. We currently just have a bronze drill and a dream. Small and large items. There's not a lot of large items Midsworth will be selling here, so it's mostly an Andy with a 4 gold roll. I do need another small item right now. There's a lot of small weapons. I don't want to go to Midsworth because, frankly, I don't think there's that many items he's selling that I really want, and I can drown my economy pretty fast by doing 4 gold rolls. Perfect. That's what I wanted to say. We just put both of these to the left. Chris Army Knife being scaled matters less than accelerating the core to scale this better. And that's going to make us much stronger. We should very easily kill a Rogue Scrapper, which is the hardest fight on day 2. And I'll explain that more in a second. Now here we have strength. This is pretty minor, never going to be a huge deal. We have plus shield. This does almost nothing now. We'll probably do less than nothing by the end of the run. And defense grid. Defense grid is actually completely insane. Right now, we don't know that we're not playing a force field build. It seems incredibly unlikely that we would. But this is insane with force field, and even without force field, this is just probably the best defensive skill in the game. So I'm going to take defense grid here. We currently have next to no defenses, so that helps a lot. We don't really want to go to Ayla because, unfortunately, we don't want to upgrade the power drill. Upgrading the rocket launcher is a pretty minimal gain. So rather than going to Ayla to upgrade this, we can just upgrade it guaranteed at B1, B2. Get a small weapon, not really for us. So the choice becomes, do we want to upgrade the rocket launcher or the weaponized core? This is plus 5 more damage each time it goes off. Upgrading the rocket launcher is, I forget the exact number, let me check. The rocket launcher gains 4 damage per shot and 1 burn per shot. So if the weaponized core is only scaling the rocket launcher, then upgrading rocket launcher is better. And fun fact, I think the rocket launcher is going to be here longer than the weaponized core is. So I am going to upgrade the rocket launcher. 1 burn also matters a lot more than 1 damage. Over the course of a fight, this will end up being a big damage loss, but the burn loss should, or sorry, the burn gain should make up for it. And now that we're off of day 1, where all the enemies have the same XP value, let's talk about analyzing enemies. Giant Mosquito is the least rare enemy. The least rare will always be leftmost. It's going to be worth the least gold and least experience. Then the medium rarity enemy will be in the middle, which will be worth the same experience as the leftmost, but a little bit more gold. And the most rare enemy will be on the right, which will be worth the most gold and at least 1 more experience than the other 2 enemies. As I said before, though I stumbled over the numbers, you really want to be level 3 going into your day 2 fight. You need 2 bonus experience to do that. One of them comes from killing Rogue Scrapper. And it's always Rogue Scrapper right now. He's the only rightmost enemy that can spawn on day 2 in the current way the game is arranged. But this build should crush Rogue Scrapper. We just have damage scaling and good base values. Generally speaking, if you don't beat Rogue Scrapper, your build's in a very, very spot day 2. And this build is completely static. Theoretically, you can calc the numbers and know exactly how good or how bad it is. Me personally, I haven't bothered. If I'm worried about beating Rogue Scrapper, I look at the build I have, look at the build they have, and eyeball it, and it's been working out for me. But I really should know the numbers for the exact calculation here. But so often it's a case like this where it's just like, oh yeah, you just kill the shit out of Rogue Scrapper. It's not even close. And we killed him 20 seconds flat. Probably 21 seconds, right? Since this would have... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Rust is an incredible skill. Allow me to explain why Rust is so good. First of all, if your opponent's playing a true one-weapon build where they have no other active items, this guarantees slows them down by 3 seconds. That's already just incredible. However, Rust is a start of combat effect. There are very few of these. So if you get Rust, you can get the Creeping Chill skill to start of combat freeze, because when you first slow, it freezes an idol. Then you have Start of Combat Freeze, so you can also get Invigorating Cold, which is when you freeze haste an item. And wouldn't you know it, now that you have Start of Combat Haste, you can get Start of Combat Freeze a second time with when you haste freeze an item. You're going to start a cascade of skills off of Rust that's very, very strong. Additionally, I am trying to play a Power Drill build, which means Rust speeds up that start as well. This is a really unfortunate hour. There are several events that I feel like I have to take right now. If I see an Upgrade Hammer, the Lost Chest event, I'm going to take it. If I see any one experience event, I'm going to take it. There's also a lot of shops I want to go to. Tinker's not one of them, unfortunately. So I could go to Tinker right now. But right now, I'm just putting Power Drill on my board and happy with that for my PvP fight. That would be worse than a Microdave, and I really do not need more gold presently. So even though 4 gold's not great, nice. I think Microdave, because I have Fiery and these 2 small items, is better. Now, you might think you have a ton of gold, upgrade Chris Army Knife, obviously, right? Plus 6 damage and shield is very nearly nothing. That is 1 shield per second and 1 damage per second. It is almost nothing. 2 gold is not nothing. It will matter. Additionally, after day 6, you cannot find bronze items, right? So if I never upgrade this Chris, he will stop showing up in stores and make my future stores better. It is actively detrimental, in my opinion, to buy this Chris Army Knife. And I was pretty much only here to buy a Microdave, so I don't feel a need to roll at all. I'm very happy that I don't have to spend 4 gold rolling looking for him. Now, please give me an experience event. Oh, that's jank. So Quixel is not a great shop for me. It's a 4 gold roll. Not really looking to upgrade my items right now because the one item I have that matters, I don't want to upgrade. I'll cover it later. Trust me, we're going to come back to duplicating items. Small Friend obviously isn't it. Mountain Pass has a chance at experience. The problem is, it's just a chance, and it can give me a fight I can lose. So when I went to Mountain Pass, I snap picked the fight here, and frankly, I shouldn't have snap picked it. I should have seriously considered, or at least explained the consideration for taking plus 1 experience plus 2 gold. Because I could get an item here by going for risky and not level up. And that is meaningfully detrimental to my chance of winning today. On average, I will get more. I will get a fight and I will win enough of the time that it's going to be a lot more rewards from going risky, but there's a chance I don't level up. The reason I didn't really consider whether or not to take the guaranteed experience is because my build is so strong that I'm pretty confident I beat like day 3 elite enemies, right? I beat Aetherite and Scout Trooper. And at that point, I'm probably pretty damn likely to win day 2, whether I level up or not. So I'm going to go for the higher average value rewards. Anyway, back to Pass May. I think I beat Aetherite. It's not clear that that's 100% true, but I'm pretty sure it is. We'll have to see how this goes. I can't make my board stronger than this, but I do think this is a build that beats Aetherite day 2. We have Weaponized Gore going off pretty rapidly to help deal with the shield a little bit, and we have the Rocket Launcher scaling up to deal with the rest of the shield and kill it. And yeah, it's not even close. I was actually way too worried about this. Not only do we beat Aetherite, we comfortably crush Aetherite. By the way, we're probably winning day 2. Don't crit me, that's just rude. We're comfortably beating an Aetherite on day 2. That is an incredibly good sign. Did I get crit a second time, or was that just a lot more value than I thought it would be? Anyway, maybe we're not comfortably beating Ether, right? Gonna do a quick check to see if it felt like I got crit multiple times there. So I only took 35 extra damage from one 4% crit. And looking at my final health at 67, if it weren't for my 3 regen, I would have died. I will cover it now. Earlier when I took the 3 regen, I didn't really cover it enough. Poison and regen are both incredibly strong in the early game. Just because of how low your numbers are, the repetitive value per second becomes massive. This is essentially 90 extra health when Sandstorm arrives, which happens at 30 seconds. It's the reason I survived that fight. Early regen is very strong. Now here, I'm going to talk about the level up rewards. Bronze tier item is pretty much never something you pick unless you need it to fill out your board. Here, I have a Micro Dave. He's pretty fast. He's charging weaponized score. Don't need it. Bronze tier loot item plus 2 gold is almost always more gold than the same tier item due to size. So this is usually your best economy option of the two. And it can give you good loot, obviously. You don't expect it to, but it can. And then you get a third option that is randomized. This can be really good. Typically, the way it gets looked at is if it's a high gold value, you look at the difference. So this is 4 gold versus total 3 gold. Am I willing to pay 1 gold for a random loot item? Yes, I am. Or I would be if it were at silver. At silver, it can give me cinders and vials of blood. At bronze, not so much. For a bronze tier item, I actually would not pay 1 gold. And there's nothing else to change on the build. I feel very strong for day 2. We've hit level 3. We have defense grid and fiery with rocket launcher and micro Dave. This is just a lot of damage. I have a little bit of regen for defenses. This man has 500 health for some reason. Not quite sure why. Guess that's just pig numbers. Oh, he's got deadly piggles. I don't like that at all. I think I survive, but... Oh, that's terrifying. I did not appreciate that. If we didn't have a health lead when the Jabali went off, we would have died, and there was a chance to lose anyway just because of crit RNG. But we make it through. Dude, the enchanted generated items right now are so wild. I don't know that they're okay. Anyway, coming into day 3, we are 2-0 on income start. That's incredible. Gain 3 regen is, as I mentioned earlier, really good, but the lower your total health values are, the more valuable regen is. This is falling off already and will fall off to nothing later in the game. Gumballs are really not worth it. The issue is Barcoon. Like, what's Barcoon gonna sell me? He can upgrade this for 8 gold. That's pretty expensive for very little. He can upgrade this for 4 gold. I'd be happy with that. But other than that, like, I don't want the power drill upgrade. I need to find a crate. I am going to go Barcoon. I can at least sell a couple of things for a little bit more gold. Thermal Lance is a very strong item. Oh, I got a Piggle. I don't know that it's good. I'm going to keep it. It's likely better than a random item that I would put to the left of the core to speed it up anyway. But, do I roll here? I have 26 gold. Normally, I'd be like, hell no, I don't roll at Barcoon on day 3. But I have so much money right now. It's actually more than that because I sell this every time. I don't see any argument to Thermal Lance here, but I already have the drill. I'm going to roll. And sadly, these are just like thoroughly not the medium items that this build wants. So I'll be on my way. There's some argument to taking the welding helmet. It's fast. It's affected by fire ray. Nufu's very expensive to roll at. There are a lot of small items I want on my board. Most importantly of them by far would be Metronome. Hamlet is not great. Laser Pistol is only getting played if it's also there to charge a Arc Blaster. I don't know, it's kind of fast. I have 2 tech items already. I don't need the Laser Pistol. I'll take the Arc Blaster, but I don't care about the Laser Pistol. First Aiden is generically good. He's not going on my board anytime soon, but he could go on my board down the line. And that'll be it for now. Don't really see a reason to pick up Wallace or a Light Bulb. And we already know that we crushed Eccentric Aetheryte. We were down 100 health in a Micro Dave last time, and we still won. This time, it will not be close.
I've got a lot of work to do, but this
ideally, from this fight, we'll be picking up Rigged. Just like Rust is insane, Rigged is also insane. And yeah, the build's a lot stronger now. The difference in having Micro Dave is the difference in whether or not we proliferate burn. And when I say proliferate, I mean stack it up so that it's not falling off between applications. And yeah, that fight was a lot less close than the last one. And I didn't really cover why I picked this fight very much. It is the rightmost fight, worth the most gold, the most experience, and pushing experience over the course of the run, choosing the choice that gives experience again and again over the alternatives will eventually give you massive leads. In terms of the number of skills you've been offered, in terms of the health you have compared to your opponents, experience is invaluable. We'll cover that more in future decisions. Now, we have bronze tier skill versus upgrade an item. I don't really want to upgrade Microdave, but bronze tier skills aren't great. I'm gonna go bronze tier skill. I think upgrading Microdave or the core is wrong. Vital Flame is great. We'll take that one. Don't need to think any further. That was a crit skill and a shield skill versus +3 burn on a 3 multicast item. I clicked it faster than I should have, but it was definitely the right thing to click. And then we get to arranging our board. What do we actually play? The goggles are useless. The drill's not ready yet. We have some status ailments, but not a ton, and we want small items to speed up Microdave anyway. Deadly Piggles is 4 seconds, which is pretty fast for charging the core. 8% crit to the right. Microdave's a lot of burn. So it's a choice between Arc Blaster, which is going to get charged every 4 seconds by the GPU, and a little bit more often than that, I think, by the weaponized core, because it's getting charged too. Or we can go for First Aiden. We don't have much in the way of defenses right now, so that is a reason to care about First Aiden, but I am going to go with the Arc Blaster and put First Aiden to the right. Whenever I'm playing the game, I always put the stuff I care about to the right, so that I know not to sell it. It's just visually clear immediately. And the stuff I don't care about that I'm willing to sell to the left, because that's where new items spawn in, and generally new items are items I'm going to sell most of the time. Additionally, the reason I haven't sold the goggles yet is because stores like Barcoon are willing to buy the goggles for 1 more gold. If I don't have a specific reason to sell an item, it's better not to sell it yet, because you might make more gold or somehow benefit more in some other way by waiting down the line. Now, coming back to Hour 4, we have 3 spare change, Mountain Pass, and JJ. JJ can sell anything, but the most important item in the game is a second power drill, but I only care once I find Lost Crate to get the upgrade hammer. Since we haven't seen a Lost Crate in the first 2.5 days, it's starting to get unlikely that we get to dupe the drill, which is very sad, but oh well. Now, we always go Mountain Pass here, because of the following mantra that you should live by. See fight, click fight. I was talking about how experience is invaluable earlier. Even though Mountain Pass is only a chance at a fight, you always click this, with the exception being earlier days. I know I clicked it yesterday. That's because I was desperate for experience. I wasn't going to level up on time if I didn't try to do this. The additional 3 experience I just got is almost half a level. If you click every fight you see, it's almost always the right choice. If you see a fight event and you click it without even analyzing the decision, I would say like 99 times out of 100, you've made the right choice. I have stopped allowing myself to even think about the other options unless I am like completely tunneled on, say, duping a power drill. It's very, very hard for a fight option to be the wrong thing to click at any point in the game. Now, specifically for a Hexa, this is a fairly hard fight if you have a lot of important small items. My small items aren't important, so we should be just fine.
Who programmed me? I did. I'm a Hexa.
And a tip if you're fighting a Hexa, because Virus can only destroy small items, I actually might have even been able to increase my odds of winning by removing these 4 items from my board, because then the Viruses would have nothing to destroy. I probably should have put the power drill in over 2 of them and removed 2, but I just didn't bother doing it because I knew this was going to kill it very, very quickly. If you're unsure about a Hexa though, you can often force a win by removing your small items. Huh. Well, that's certainly a lot more than I was expecting. And it's another B1, B2 instead of a traits grumble. All right, quick check. Am I able to run this yet? Solar Farm gets charged 2 seconds every time I burn. So Microdave's getting kind of bad. I don't have any small items left, but getting hasted all the time is kind of like using small items. I think this is more damage, just because all of my damage basically comes from the rocket launcher. So having haste go onto the rocket, that's only 1 second haste right now. It's very unclear to me which option is better. I'm going to do this right now, but there's a very real chance that Solar Farm could be better down the line. Speaking of down the line, the thing that makes it better is either an upgrade or Rocket Boots. Rocket Boots being a junk item from Curio that increase the haste duration of an item by 1 second. Bronze item upgrade gives me 2 burn right here guaranteed on Microdave. It's fine. It's not bad at all. What if what I did was just drop the weaponized core immediately, right? Like, I just do this. Obviously, Arc Blaster gets pretty bad. We run First Aiden instead, I guess. Because I still have a lot of small items charging the micro Dave. The weapon scaling here doesn't matter if we're burn scaling effectively, which we would be like this. I think this is the best board I currently have. And I'm going to go Curio rather than upgrading micro Dave. Upgrading micro Dave is not bad, but if I can hit the rocket boots, then my build is tremendously stronger. This is always an awkward decision when you see improvised bludgeon, but you don't have a slow item. Increasing the duration of a slow by 1 second is often a tremendous impact. But floating this can be very difficult. As you can see, there's not a lot of room in my inventory right now. I'm willing to do it though. There are enough items that are insanely valuable with more slow duration that I'm willing to pick that up. It's early enough that I think a gland is worth buying. The rest of this, not so much. We roll rocket boots would be insane. That could be them. It is Shadowed Cloak, which is a different, very good item that I wasn't here for. We toss this, we toss the goggles. We have to buy that Shadowed Cloak, unfortunately.
That's been sitting there.
The rest of this, really not a big deal. It's worth buying the Dragon Talisman, or the Lion Talisman rather, which means these have to go just to make room. Clockwork Blades is super minor, but it is something I'm willing to buy right now with the items I have. And unfortunately, it only affects the things on your board. This is a bug. It should affect your stash too, so I have to decide who I want to hit. I think these items in my stash are the ones that matter the least. And we're going to pick up the Eagle Talisman, and for the long run, put it on the drill. We're not keeping the drill in right now, though. And since we're no longer running the core, we're happy to put the Piggles next to the rocket launcher now instead. Do I think the drill's just good enough with Shadowed Cloak? Because what Shadowed Cloak says is every time the drill goes off, haste, meaning it's down to 7.9 seconds. I've got the rocket launcher, I've got the micro Dave, I've got the first Aiden, which means we can drop Silver Farm and Chris Army Knife and put in the drill and the cloak. Yeah, no, having found the cloak and missed the rocket boots, this is actually straight out again, which is kind of sad. So I put Shadowed Cloak on rocket launcher, speeding it up tremendously, not quite full haste uptime, but a lot. Definitely more haste procs than I get by putting it next to the drill. Micro Dave is here, burning a little bit, charging this a little bit, not a bad card at all. We cannot scale the crit on rocket launcher because the Shadowed Cloak is taking the same slot, unfortunately. And this wasn't the board I was expecting to be running going into day 3, but Shadowed Cloak on a rocket launcher with fiery Final Flame is very, very good. Micro Dave helping to proliferate the burn just a little bit. Piggles increasing crit chance. There's not another item to run. I would rather run like a status ailment, ideally a slow, but I don't have one. First Aiden's just good. He's what little defense I have, and also a haste proc for the drill. This should be an outrageous amount of damage. I don't know that I care about 1 damage for 1 gold. It's pretty damn minor, but I have a ton of gold. It might affect my chance of winning. I'll do it. We're up against a 1-win Vanessa. I feel super comfortable against pretty much anyone. I will say that anyone who's lost on day 1 basically means nothing. Day 1 is super random, so 1 win, 2 wins, basically the same thing on day 3. Is that a Cove on board? I mean, if this build was faster, the Fiery Seaweed would scare the shit out of me, but it's not, so it takes a while for me to get started, but as soon as this goes off, we start just doing outrageous amounts of damage. Yeah, he's completely dead. That'll be 50 burn, hundreds of damage from drill and rocket launcher. He is dead to rights. I will say that all of these shield procs having my damage from the burn hurts a lot, but I have enough raw damage to get through it anyway, it's fine. We are stupid strong for day 3 with this setup. And as I said, with the weaponized score, I'm planning on dropping it pretty fast. We'll find something better to do down the line. And I would say that Shadowed Cloak, Rocket Launcher, Power Drill is something better to do. Now, as I mentioned earlier, C Fight, Click Fight. Small burn item, or sorry, any burn item could be good. Who knows what it would be? Weapons? Probably not. So in this case, it's competing with garbage, but I would click this basically no matter what it competed with. And we are happy to see Trash Town Mayor. Not only is that a 3 experience fight, it's a day 5 fight, so its options for like rewards are just a little bit better in terms of average gold value. Augmented weaponry is very good in a drill build because very frequently the base damage of your drill can be problematically low if you don't get skills for it. So I'm happy to see this if we hit it. Augmented defenses, I would take. I don't have anything that shields right now. Normally you skip bad skills to avoid polluting the pool for Grandmaster. But this is just such a powerful skill that requires so little for it to go to the moon that I would take it anyway, and the rest is varying degrees of gold. In this case, 4 gold. Argenta, silver tier skills, there are a lot of things we want. Defensive stance with no shield items, no thank you. Firepower with no core, no thank you. And poison values with no poison. That'll be 4 gold, please. I don't have a core, don't have a large item, and stop that is pretty awful. Right now, I have like the best Grandmaster of all time. Even if I add stop that to the pool, literally everything else is a hit, and it doesn't do nothing, right? If I get to half health, my opponent slows down a bit, I charge the drill. It's not good, but I'm not going to pass up on it either. Now, this is very frustrating for me because we're seeing Orion. Orion's very nearly guaranteed to sell me this drill since there's no gold items until day 5. But I still want to dupe the drill. I still have a chance. And there's really no other item other than power drill he can sell me that matters. So I'm left in an awkward spot where I have to decide, do I want to pursue just one drill guaranteed at silver, or do I want to try to dupe? And I want to try to dupe. It is so much stronger, and getting 25 damage on the drill is not a big deal. I'm not going to gumballs because it's very, very minor. Toss that just to make room, pick up the Cosmic Plumage. It's 4 gold, whatevs. And we get Hellbilly. There's no meaningful rewards at Dervish or Retiree, just take my word for it. At least for this build, and Hellbilly gives us most experience, most gold. He has no rewards we particularly care for either. But that's fine. He's still the most experienced, and we're happy to keep taking the hardest fights. This will put us level 6 going into the day 4 fight, which is really substantially above par for experience. This build's still pretty strong as a slow start burn scaling build. Being ahead on experience is actually just a valid defense that's very, very good. So even though we're not duping the drill like we wanted to do when we got it on the first shop of the game and never ever saw a crate to pick up, we're still doing really, really well. We need to make room for the textiles, easy enough. Silver tier friend, loot, or silver tier item. Like I said earlier, a silver tier loot and 2 golds is usually better than a same tier item. I don't need a specific friend, so I just take the highest gold value. Hey, B1, B2. I think I've seen 3 of these and no crates. Has the crate been disabled? Was there a hotfix? 1 second. There's no announcement, so I guess the crates are still in the game, but okay. Just third B1, B2, 0 crates. I see how it is. I will take this though. It's a meaningful upgrade in haste duration on the cloak, or on the rocket launcher rather. Now instead of taking 4 seconds to go off, it will take 3.5 seconds. Also, it's going to be impervious to slow now and have higher damage scaling. That's a meaningful upgrade. Kev Doc's weapon. I'm willing to go Kev here. There are some crazy shield enchants that Dooley can get access to that would make this a much better shop. I have a ton of gold as well. That's part of the decision making. Force field doesn't matter to me. I have no other shield items. Burn both players is not a problem when it's shielded. And I don't particularly like this Biggle. So if I take this, it is a half decent shield item. It is scaling well because of Fiery. It is lowering the cooldown on Power Drill and Microdave. I think that's actually just a good item for my current situation. Also, it says burn both players. That means it's 2 different instances of burn, meaning it charges the drill 4 seconds, not 2 seconds. And on the subject of charging the drill, I need to explain how the drill works now that we're starting to mix and match status ailments. There is something called the internal cooldown. Almost every effect in the game can only go off every 0.2 seconds. So, as an example, Microdave, no matter how fast you make him, no matter how much you charge him with other items, will never go off faster than every 0.2 seconds. The Power Drill says when you haste, slow, freeze, poison, or burn, charge this 2 seconds. Most things that say charge, being charged is on the internal cooldown. So as an example, a matchbox or a pufferfish, whenever you use another item or whenever you haste, those items will every 0.2 seconds charge for the amount they say. However, Power Drill is special. It is not having all of its charge effects on the same internal cooldown. When you haste, charge. When you slow, charge. When you freeze, charge. When you poison, charge. And when you burn, charge are all on separate internal cooldowns. So this does not charge it 4 seconds instantly. It charges it 4 seconds over the course of 2 internal cooldowns. And if you have a bunch of different effects, for instance, haste effects and burn effects, you will charge it faster than if you have only one effect. Right now, it's pretty minor in effect, but as you get later in the run, you might find that you have like 20 burn effects all stacked in a queue and they're not making the drill faster, and you would be far better off with 8 burn effects and 8 haste effects than the much higher total of 20, all in one type. Now, back on topic, I don't care about Wallace or Force Field, and I'm willing to roll for enchanted items. Unfortunately, these enchanted items are not good. So this is what we take into our next fight. I feel pretty good about it. I think this is actually a meaningful upgrade. Oh, we got Ascenders. Nice. Put that on rocket launcher. Actually, do I want the shield value? No, that's stupid. This meaningfully impacts my chance of winning a lot more. Is Solar Farm already better than Shadowed Cloak? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 burn triggers. 1 haste is just not enough. You have to hit a Curio or get it to gold. It's not good enough, unfortunately. 0 win Vanessa. I've seen so many of these today. What's going on? I swear to God, there's some sort of advertising campaign going on. I've never seen this many free-to-play players on a random Sunday afternoon. Strength, Diamond Fangs, Artillery Spotter, Improvised Weaponry. Relatively large sub. All told, though, it's not a great amount of defenses, and I should blow him out of the water, because it's not being hasted or anything. Like, at first, it's a little bit rough when I'm starting out, because there's just a lot of startup time on the build, and then as the burn stacks up, it becomes not even close. I will say, it was closer than I thought it would be. Not that it was particularly close, but a lot closer than I thought it would be. Moving on to day 5, we're about to have to give up on the drill dupe. If we don't see a lost crate like hour 1, we're probably not able to do it. Yeah, that's about right. We go Tox Clocks here every time. The medkit does nothing. Dox is just a minor economy event that can give you some weird upside, but it's so variable that it's hard to know what you'll get. Tox Clocks can give you a metronome, which is the most important item. If I had found a single lost crate event on literally any hour of the run, I would have taken it. So I'm going to explain duping before I remove the ability to dupe from this run. When you go to a store, you will notice they never sell an item that is not the same tier as an item you own. So they cannot sell me a solar farm that is not silver tier. They cannot sell me a first aid end that is not silver tier. And they can only sell me a power drill that is bronze tier. And if you don't own it, it can show up at any tier. The odds of each tier depend on the day. But when it's selling an item that is in your stash, it always matches the tier. Because when you get 2 items of the same tier, they combine into the higher tier. Now, the upgrade hammer comes from an event called the Lost Crate. If I had found Lost Crate, I'd have taken it at any point to get this upgrade hammer at silver tier, and what it does is when you sell this, you upgrade your leftmost bronze item to silver tier. And that would mean that I sell it, my power drill goes to silver, and now this power drill can no longer combine with it. Which means when I buy it, it would give me a second power drill at bronze rank. And there is some crazy shit you can do with that. There are a lot of things where essentially both drills trigger a debuff of some sort, and they start scaling each other very, very quickly, and it's crazy. Now, because the game simply does not offer me Lost Crate at all today, I will not be duping this power drill, but I will be upgrading the power drill. The reason I'm willing to do this, if I had seen that on like day 2, I'd have just left it in the shop. I would have done several things that weren't shops because upgrading power drill wasn't important at the time. The reason I'm willing to do it now is because as of day 5 with no hammer, I'm not getting a hammer. The window has closed. The odds of me finding a hammer next hour and then another power drill in the next few hours is basically 0. You can see bronze items on day 6. They're very, very rare. And as of day 7, bronze items stop spawning. So that's basically my last chance to upgrade the drill, and I've given up on duping it. Now, we're going to roll because we really want metronome. We miss it. And we see pylon. When you slow, haste, and every 4 seconds, slow. That's spicy. I have the bludgeon, which makes it better. The issue is I have no other source of slow. If I knew I was getting a heavy enchant on the drill, I'd take the pylon every single time. The solar farm, I think, is useless. This never makes the final board. So I will toss this, and that gives me the room to float a pylon, which I have insane amounts of money I'm willing to do. Heavy gear Nolabar is not happening, though. We're not buying that. And it doesn't even cost me that much stash space because I can sell this, put it on. I don't have to do it yet, but I can get the slow duration added to something that matters. Although realistically, I would rather add it to power drill. Now, as I said at the start of the run, Pearl's Dig Site is better because I turned off the DLCs. I don't care about friend items that much. I don't care about spare change at all. So we go to Pearl's Dig Site here. And there are 2 ways to look at Pearl's Dig Site. One is you roll until you get a massive net gain to economy, and one is you roll until you get a pretty big item. Realistically, I don't have to decide immediately. It'll depend on what it shows me. Curry is just not good in this build. Unfortunately, 9 seconds is way too slow for a drill build. Durable is a lot better than it used to be at 6 seconds, but it's still not good. Although I am a burn build, it might be better than First Aid, and I don't think it is. Hamlet, I mean, I can get that at normal stores, and I'm choosing not to, right? Uzi's not it. Double whammy, I'm not health scaling. Beast of Burden, I don't have any way to give that multicast. I could take it for 6 gold and just come here for a +5 gold event, but you can do better than +5 gold. Huh. Well, shit, now we're talking. Now something's happening. Wait. When you buy this, you get 3 nanobots, but because of the current enchantment rules, when you generate items, they come with appropriate enchantments. So, like, if you have a fiery gumball machine, it generates fiery gumballs. I need to make more room. He takes up 2 slots, I need 3 slots. I don't think this Piglet is hitting my board. I don't think this Chris Army Knife is hitting my board. I cannot say no to this. This is an insanely strong item. So, what he just did is he gave me 3 fiery nanobots with 15 damage for every friend I have, and burn equal to 10% of their damage, and he is going... Let's just arrange the board, right? Let's figure out what it looks like. So DJ Robot says, burn 17, haste your friends for 2 seconds, every 10 seconds. And when you use another friend, charge this 1 second. I have 3 11 burn fiery nanobots that also hit for 90 on a 4-second cooldown. I have First Aiden, I have a rocket launcher, and I have a micro Dave. I currently think this is better than running the drill. The pylon's never happening anymore. You get something like this, and suddenly your board space is a little bit more confined. We'll figure out what to sell shortly. We 100% kill Scoville. Micro Dave should be insane with all these little guys. I can't imagine cutting him. He should be my fastest item with all the little guys. The rocket launcher, I think, is better than power drill still, but it's very slow. This is a lot of haste and burn. I think the power drill is actually better. I'm very confident I beat Scoville either way. Scoville, by the way, very hard day fight. A lot of the time, sorry, very hard day 5 fight. A lot of the time it's right to not fight this guy. But having just gotten the fiery DJ Robot, stupid things are happening. Just the amount of haste and damage and burn is fucking insane. And this is the fear anytime you're doing an Overexplained run, is if your RNG is too good, the run starts having less value. Because suddenly, like, what's the advantage of me explaining that fiery DJ Robot will carry a run to victory? I've done a lot of good explaining how to get to this point. However, from here on forward, this run's gonna be a lot less Overexplained, because this is less transferable to other runs inherently. Now, upgrading a silver tier or lower item's not actually that good. If you buy another DJ Robot, you'll get 3 more fiery nanobots. I don't want to send it into gold. I want it to be more common. So that's not happening. Upgrading anything else just isn't a big deal. Me personally, I'm feeling like we go Argenta, because something like Hotspot could still be very good. We're not committed to never being a drill build yet, but your friends have +2 damage for each friend you have. Currently 12, could be more in the future. It's honestly just not very much, is it? When you slow, your items gain crits. I guess I'm gonna take leftmost crit chance then. None of those are particularly good.
I think you had a breakthrough.
And we are going to flip this. Oh, wait. Leftmost crit chance is different. We put it on the drill then. Now, as I've said earlier, Quixel is a shop that can upgrade anything I have. I quite like the Quixel. Small weapon is economy that we don't need. That analysis is pretty straightforward, but C-fight, click fight. Oh, you get punished sometimes on Mountainbass. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, is it even a punish if it's upgrading an item that's on my board? Yes, I would rather have gotten 2 to 3 experience, by far. Midsworth isn't going to be doing a lot for me. I can sell my Shadowed Cloak and Pickled Peppers for +4 gold, which is, you know, solid, but not particularly important. Would I rather drop the first... No, because every friend is value. Like, if you have these, you just want more of them. First Aiden's definitely pretty bad on this board, I will admit. But he's giving 15 damage and 2 burn to all the little guys. But at the same time, I can lower the cooldown on Drill. First Aiden's probably better. So it's a choice between Cinders or guaranteed +4 gold. What small and large items do I want? Day 5 robotics facility is very unlikely. It's absolutely insane if I hit it. I'm going to come here, sell my things for extra value, try to get the robotics facility. It's unlikely that I'm going to get anything great out of this. It's gold.
See that, Barker? That's how it's done.
I don't think Drill's staying. Drill's on its way out. We have something I hate to say it, something better than drill. So I'm gonna sell all of that for the bonus value. And we're gonna lock into this fiery DJ robot option we've been given. You cannot see something this strong on day 5 and not just embrace it. That's an important thing in runs. I should like establish that a little bit, I suppose. If you see something incredibly strong but incredibly rare, usually it's right to go into it unless it's like completely alien from your current build. I already had 2 friends on board. I already had a burn plan. This thing was just easy to transition into and incredibly strong. So yeah, sure, we wanted to do a drill build. We had a lot of good stuff set up for a drill build. Doesn't matter, we found a better option. All right, Hoodie Zach, what's up? How are you doing? I have to imagine I'm favored against any other Dooley. I'm very high on EXP curve. He's got 1,000 health to my 1,300. He's down a level on me. He's using Monitor Lizard. It's a very slow poison item. It's not gonna work. Because as soon as we start going off, we start charging the robot, and things start getting stupid, and oh, he's dead to damage already, basically. I believe Monitor Lizard went off once, which is substantially less than my board. 22 burn per guy except for the frozen guy, 26 on Microdave, 300 damage on the drill, seems like it was irrelevant amounts. Yeah, just monstrously strong. What a ridiculous item. I do really hope they make a change to generating enchanted items. Maybe on stuff like DJ Robot, like this is a crazy high roll, maybe this is okay, because he's specifically generating one type of item that doesn't apply to other stuff. But specifically, like the fiery and the slow gumball enchants are absolutely crazy. I really hope those get changed. I'm yet to decide on the DJ Robot situation, but I think it's probably a problem. Now, getting back to day 6, we can take 7 regen, that's fine, not bad. We can go Kev, probably don't care. Like, unless he's selling me specifically a shielded robotics facility, not really up my alley. I have Nufu money, I'm incredibly rich. Shield scaling, don't have shields, same, no large items, we roll. Is that fucking 3 large item skills, 2 shield skills, and a skill that just got conned? Just 6 skills that literally do not function with my build, huh? Thanks, Nufu. I'm happy to go JJ here. Small friend is kind of irrelevant to me. I'm not changing this board unless I had another DJ robot. Work at the docks is not a big deal. We go JJ, hope we can upgrade something.
Sometimes I sell.
Not those. Oh, speaking of, I should have checked this yesterday. Wasn't doing any good. That's fine, we'll make more money with it down the line.
Sad to say goodbye.
And I'm being a little bit fast and loose with my analysis of items. I beat Lich. I'll fucking eat my hat. I beat Lich. Just as a heads up, as a learning thing, you do not ever click Lich. The fact that I beat Lich is a travesty. This does not normally happen under any circumstances. But this build beats Lich. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's gonna get to half health, freeze me, and I'm going to die. That's usually what happens even with good builds. But yeah, no, that kills Lich. Also, as crazy as this is, I was like 3 seconds from dead. You do not click Lich, this is just a lost fight normally. Wand. Also, crypto is bugged, it goes above its max value, it goes further above depending on the tier, which is why unless it's like very near the cap of the value, you never sell it. I will happily sell crypto for 23 gold, I didn't know gold went that high, I thought it capped out at 22. Charge your other items 1 second. So I could do like that. Maybe if it were at diamond, I'll keep an eye on that, but I think it's still worse than drill. Now we have weapon skills, slow skills, gold skills. I do have start of combat slow, as mentioned, that can give me start of combat freeze, which is pretty good, but both strength and steel storm are kind of insane if I'm playing a mini bot build.
I mean,
Steel storm would be better, but you just don't say no to flat 15 damage when you're doing weapon spam. Yeah, this is my bad. I just completely didn't realize that Steel Storm was a Vanessa-only skill at this point in time. And to be fair, that's not really on me. That's on the devs for putting Steel Storm in the generic section of their patch notes and not in the Vanessa section of their patch notes. I take no blame for this. We can take 25 flat damage to help me win on the fight against the player, I mean. Considering I just killed Lich, there is no chance I would ever click Temp Boost. I will level up early if I take this experience, and Orion can sell me a drill that probably gets cut as soon as I find DJ Robot anyway, so I'm going to take the experience to level up for the fights. Small items can be insane because it has access to Metronome on what is currently a drill build, and it has access to fiber optics. These other two do very little for me, so I'm going to go Ante. Hey, it's the cool LEDs. Those would have been good in a very different timeline. None of that works in this build. I'm trying to think, like, is there ever a world where I cut the robot, use nitro and thrusters and pyrocarbon? I don't think there is. I don't think that's happening. So that shop really does nothing for me. I get plus 12 gold, or I get 2 gold and a silver loot tier item. And normally I'd say it's obviously 12 gold rather than a silver tier loot item. Who in their right mind is paying 8 gold for a silver tier loot item? But I literally cannot spend my money. And I'm still going to take this. It's just such a bad price analysis to not do it. Anyway, I'm undefeated. This Dooley has 1 win, and I'm completely fucking broken off a fiery DJ robot. So, good luck? Question mark? Not so much this man as whoever gets my ghost. Oh, there is a very large disparity in DJ robot quality. Also, if your robot's goal, oh no, he upgraded it at level 7. He didn't know it wouldn't give him new robots. That's an important thing I should clarify. Why did I not upgrade DJ Robot? When you buy one, you get 3 nanobots. When you upgrade it, you just make him better. You're not getting it, so it doesn't trigger the effect where you get the items. And it's very important. It's why he had a gold DJ but silver nanobots. He did not know that, and he ended up wasting his upgrade because of it. Unfortunate. We'll go small items here. The other 2 just really weren't important. Metronome's very good.
You're a smart one for yourself.
First Aiden's really not doing a lot here. I'm gonna get a little bit less burn by making Microdave faster to get more haste for this hammer. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe what's better is to incorporate the wand. I think that's the plan. I think this is my current best build, as weird as it looks. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not going to leave the metronome on the table, though. I will happily upgrade First Aiden. He just scales well with level. It's just more healing, more haste. And he's going to be here for a while. Odds are good that if I find another DJ robot, speaking of... See, this is the issue. This is what I was talking about. 99 times out of 100, C-fight, click fight, it's the right thing. Don't let yourself waste time thinking about it. Is there a Cinder Chase on my burn build? Yes, but I'm not really a burn build. I'm a DJ robot build. The real question is middle. Middle has a chance at DJ robot, and we can figure out what that chance is. There are 47 medium items for Dooley. 6 of those are cores, so it is a 1 out of 41 chance for any item at middle to be the drill, or sorry, not the drill, the DJ robot. Across 2 pages, the odds are not terrible, but as said earlier, even though this is obviously the most important thing in the world, C-fight, click fight. I'm sorry, Turtle, you're not gonna live that long. And this will give me a good chance to see, like, how good is the wand, how much speed does that really offer if I'm permanently hasting it with the drill, which I think I am at a golden metronome. Right now, my diamond upgrade's going on wand as well. I would prefer to get a robotics facility and cut the wand, but as of now, I don't have the ability to do that. So how many times did the wand go off? I think it only went off twice and was about to go off the 3rd time. Yeah. So it's not doing a whole hell of a lot right now, but I need my board position like this. These guys have to be between other friends for the cooldown rules. And I don't think hasting this did anything. I should actually watch that back a little bit closer. If this is not full hasting my other guys, then I don't care about the wand. I won't haste on DJ Robot if he's not full haste. I can't talk. I won't haste on DJ Robot if he's not full haste uptime, and he isn't. So I actually do want to put him next to the metronome. Although First Aiden gets him pretty quickly since both of these are hasting each other, huh? I don't know. It's really unclear. If it were a bigger gap, it would be obvious. Hey, finally an interesting choice on the monster selection. Viper Tyrant, Thug, and Shock Trooper. Shock Trooper being the one you default pick because it gives more gold, more experience. You just always go to the right unless you have a good reason not to. But let's talk about Thug. The Thug has the bonk skill. Enemy cooldowns are increased by 1 second, which means that you basically win the run. It's that strong, and it's one of the best generic skills in the game. It is monstrously powerful. He has some other things that are worth mentioning. He has Bar of Gold, which is plus 40 gold, which may as well be infinite gold. I'm already fabulously wealthy. I have strength at silver. He too has strength at, oh no, his is bronze. So that's not actually a drop I can hit. He has Spices, which can be pretty good in a build like mine, but I don't think it would ever actually fit. Basically though, it's just bonk. The rest of this I really don't consider a hit. Normally I would say that Bar of Gold's a hit for most builds, but I have too much gold to really think that. So he has a 1 in 9 chance at a veritably run-winning skill. So how do I evaluate 1 in 9 at bonk versus the guaranteed loss of 1 experience? If anyone else has a better framework for this decision, I'd be interested in hearing it. And there are situations where like the 1 in 9 wins the run and nothing else wins the run, so you just go for the skill. We're not in a situation like that. For me, I just look at it as what is the cost and experience. If I make this decision in every run, what am I doing? And I'm spending 9 experience by skipping Shock Trooper 9 times for 1 copy of Bonk. Just the experience gap multiplied by the chance of getting what you want. Do I think Bonk is worth an entire level? Yes. I actually think Bonk is so strong that it is worth 9 experience. If there was an event that said lose 9 experience, get Bonk, I would click that. So I think Thug is worth fighting here. Additionally, even though I do have unlimited gold, you can spend all of it on things like late game Nufus, Pearls, Aerodrome when you're rerolling the event. This is not literally nothing. Oh, I was right, it is at silver. How Bazaar.gg was wrong, this isn't mints. Okay, that actually makes it a lot better to come here, because strength is good in my build. Not the skill I wanted, though. I would have much rather the other one. Huh. That's very interesting in terms of enchants. First, I need to look up what the enchants do on Wand. I have not had a Wand in literal months. Fiery gives it burn 4. If you get a Wand, then you accept that just charge 2 was a good effect. Okay, fair. So, I can put Fiery on the drill. That makes the drill hit for a lot of burn, and it charges itself a little bit more. I can put Fiery on the metronome. The drill gets a lot worse, but it charges faster. Or I can random something else. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because both of these are kind of already ideal. I obviously don't like that I'm only doing burn as my status ailment, but just tons of burn, tons of haste is good enough. I'm going to go with burn on drill. I think this is a good enough build to go 10 wins. I don't think I need to find a second Fiery DJ Robot, or just a second DJ Robot rather, if I get this upgrade on the drill. Now, if I do find a second DJ Robot and I'm kind of an awkward spot, like what do I cut? I don't know. It got a lot more complicated by taking this enchant, but that was always going to be the case, and I never found a different enchant target to actually use it on. Ayla's super awkward. The other ones are probably worse. Gumballs do very little. I know I'm wealthy. Spare change does nothing. I'm wealthy. I could go spend 10 gumballs, or sorry, 10 gold on 10 gumballs. I'm gonna go Ayla. I think the chance of upgrading drill is genuinely more valuable.
I can help you finish a fight.
Those are not, I don't care about race car at all. We get the drill upgrade. Happy to see it.
I fight along.
There's a very real argument that I should have gone gumballs there. Personally, I just fucking hate clicking on gumballs. That's the reason I didn't go there. Midsworth for robotics facility. It's much more likely on day 7 than 5, so I'm more inclined to do it. And the reason that is because gold items get more likely to drop as time goes on, same with diamond items. So even though they unlock at day 5, the odds of getting them is at the lowest it will ever be. At day 7, gold items are much more common. I'm happy to go to Midsworth here. I would prefer a shop that can upgrade DJ Robot, but I'll take it.
Back to business.
Yeah, I kind of figured he would just con me. Did I have a medium item I was supposed to sell him?
Off you go.
Yeah, I probably should have sold that microdave. Whoops. I have so much gold that I've kind of checked out because my build is absolutely fucking insane and I have more money than I could ever possibly need.
Noticed? I'm huge.
My goal to win is to optimize the chances of getting something like second DJ Robot, robotics facility. This is not actually that scary. This doesn't even kill me when it goes off. He will be dead to burn. I don't even think he heals through. I think he dies before Subscraper goes off a second time. You would think the 1,100 heal would be pretty good. However, the build's kind of insane right now. So if I click recap, how much of that is drill? A lot. So like obviously the little microbots with full haste uptime going off every 2 seconds are hitting very hard and doing a ton of burn, and they're great. However, what's really happening is they're triggering a ton of burn procs and a ton of haste procs by charging Fiery DJ Robot, which is making the drill stupidly fast, giving full haste uptime on the wand, charging these guys, and then the drill's just hitting like a truck and dealing as much burn as all of this put together. A little bit less, but pretty damn close. It's all feeding into itself rather nicely. It's not the drill build I thought I'd be playing, but it's certainly good. Undefeated on day 7 as DJ Robot intended. Here, tool's pretty bad. Chocolate bars is okay. I'd be willing to spend 10 gold on the extra health. But I am going to go JJ just because a DJ Robot upgrade is so impactful. You shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have. So you'll see that when I buy the second one, I get 3 more little guys. And if I just put all the little guys in, take out the drill, like, do I need the drill? Can I just beat the ass? Do I need to scale a drill? There's an argument that, like, I don't think there is. I think you just go DJ Robot here. I think you just take the little guys. They're very angry and very good. 10 regen's fine. Temp boost is not really interesting to me. I killed Lich 2 days ago. I don't need temporary boost. If this goes to diamonds, we have a very dumb build. Damn. A man can hope.
It's a relationship, you know?
So, I'm pretty confident that drill's probably still better. The issue is that it has to make something worse, right? Like, to put drill in, I have to do this basically, which is still incredibly good. Don't get me wrong. But it's just less funny. That's really all it comes down to. So I want to see how good this is. And we'll go test it against Dr. Vortex. And it seems to me like 6 seconds in, my opponent dies, which is basically what happens with the drill too, to be fair. Oh man, random freeze on DJ Robot did make it 8 seconds in. That's unfortunate. I just really don't see a huge point in using the drill with this many tiny little guys that are all on fire. Crit skills are bad, slow skills are bad, so it's Dooley skills, but Dooley skills are also pretty bad when you don't have a core, because you'll notice that all of these talk about the core and do nothing, so we have to roll. This one talks about the core, that one talks about the core, but Beautiful Friendship is literally the best possible hit we could have got. So even though we got 5 complete misses, this is still totally cracked. When you use a friend, your friends gain 3 damage. Well, your weapons gain 3 damage, but for me, all my weapons are friends. I'm going to gamble on experience here. It's probably not going to affect whether I level up today, but push experience every single time you get the choice. My only defense is health. Hey, there we go. We're leveling up because we pushed experience. I really should check and see if the drill's better. Like, I don't need to do anything else. I don't need the metronome. I think I'll have full haste uptime in terms of internal cooldowns. Maybe not, but like, I'll give this a shot, just see how it goes. Joyful Jack will not live long. The full fiery enchanted board is very upsetting to look at. So this should be a ton of haste and burn proc, so the drill should go off very rapidly for a few seconds. It seems like it's better with the drill, you know? I want it to be worse with the drill, but it's just not. Would I ever be able to run the wand? Like, it seems so good, but it kind of isn't, right? It lines up well if it's at diamond. At diamond, these guys go, oh no, it doesn't because of internal cooldown on DJ Robot. They don't instantly haste when they go off. So the wand would actually charge all of them for 2 seconds when they're at like 3.6 seconds out of 4 on their second cast. Oh, the wand doesn't even work with this. It's a trap. That's very sad. I will toss this though and pick up my loot item. 3,500 health on day 8 is kind of a lot. So that we're clear about how much it is specifically, I'm gonna move the thrusters just in case somehow Macro Dave enters the build. It's technically optimal. To be clear about how good this is, you normally aim to hit level 10 at the end of day 8. You want to be sure you get your enchantment for day 8. I might have had my enchantment yesterday. The run's gone so far off the rails and got in so strong that I kind of forgot to mention it if I leveled up that early. And yeah, I think the metronome's kind of unnecessary because of all the haste coming out of DJ Robot. The wand is bad as well. I don't need first aid and I don't need light bulb. I don't need any of this. My entire inventory is trash. None of that actually ever hits the build. I will be flabbergasted if I lose. There are builds that kill me, just go off faster, but not a lot of them. So he's also insane on health. Icy Weatherglass. It's a pretty good build, but considering I'm permanently hasted, the slows won't do all that much and he's just dead before the Weatherglass even finishes resolving. His build was not weak. Although the gold dog skill with no weapons does make me deeply sad. I get it though, I've been there. Through no fault of his own, it was right to take and then right to keep off his board with an icy Weatherglass and a water wheel. I guess I go tools here. It's definitely wrong. Alright, I'm just gonna sell this shit now. commit to it. I'm going to go to Gumball Machine. I could have held 3 items and it would have been the same, but I needed to clear inventory space so that I could do gumballs quickly, because I will be a dead man before I buy gumballs one at a time in the name of optimization. That was technically wrong. You were supposed to buy gumballs one at a time there. If you have the dedication to do that, then Godspeed. You're better at the game than I am, but I have no patience for it. Gold tier items filters down pretty heavily towards the only items I care about. Drill and DJ Robot. Damn shame about that.
Poverty is a choice.
Poverty is a choice? Dude, Goldie is not a good guy. There's nothing here I care about. I instantly clicked it. Very often case on day 9, the fights for left and middle are just not very good fights. And then the rightmost fight's the most experience and gold, so there's no reason to click the other ones. At this point, I'm so deep into the run, so strong, that I don't really feel the need to explain why we go to the rightmost fight. Sorry if I am glossing over things, though. It happens when you get a run like this. Gold tier skills versus upgrading the drill. Tough choice. There's some crazy skills we can hit here. There's also a bunch of skills that do literally nothing. Please don't scam me. Dude, what the fuck is this? Those were literally 6 skills that don't affect my build in any capacity. I'm not even preserving my Grandmaster. Those skills just didn't do anything. Maybe I should have gone for the friend, now that I think about it. I think I'd just take +4 burn on the drill. Cooldown on the drill's better. I can actually feasibly get this down to a speed where it goes off on less charges. 8.5 is that speed. It needs to charge, it needs to get under 8.8. If it's over 8.8, it will go off after 5 internal cooldowns. At 8.5 though, it's gonna get charged 4 times and then go off. No, because they're going off haste plus burn simultaneously. I need to get it under 8.4. It's not quite there yet. Scrap plus shield, temp boost items. I killed Lich. I don't take temp boost on this build. Ever. Just, them's the rules. And them's bad items. Don't click on those. Level 13 at the end of day 9. A full board of fiery enchants. No god or savior in sight for my opponents. If I lose, if I don't go diamond 10 wins, I'll be flabbergasted. I said it basically as soon as I got DJ Robot. This is not a great Overexplained run simply because this is the whole build now. There's no optimizing a drill build. There's no depth. You just beat the shit out of them with the tiny little guys.
Bring her about.
I will say, tiny little guys uniquely bad against a beehive. Pretty scary situation to find myself in. To make it clear how strong this build is, that was a 4B beehive build with flat 45 damage. Oh, I'm sorry. Flat 65 damage. Oh, I'm sorry. Like flat 100 damage with the Steel Storm. You really can't counter-tech my build harder, and he still lost. I think I had 500 health or less at the end of this, though. Let me see. We had 656 health here. Every time we've been pushing experience and this starting defense grid, all of that contributed to us having enough health to actually live through those crazy bees, which counter the shit out of weapon spam like we're doing. All right, here I am actually just very happy to go chocolate bars and spend 10 gold on them. Those other options do very little for us, plus 150 health could be the difference. Weapons is very bad. There's 1 hit, the rest are bad. We go skills, we don't get scammed this time, right?
Are you prepared?
8% crit is very, very nearly nothing. I'm going to roll. Fine, I guess. I'll take 5 damage. I'd have preferred 8% crit. There were better hits, but I'll take it. I don't really need to sell these before the fight. I can hold them for a potential Barcoon. But there's a tiny chance I'm overestimating myself. I'm pretty sure Void Colossus is dead before this goes off, though. The build's crazy. He doesn't disrupt me. Like, what chance does he stand? I would like to get a robotics facility over the drill. It would massively improve the build. I would also like to get another DJ Robot for diamond little guys and just cut the drill for more little dudes. Okay. So that's 100% haste up time. Every single internal cooldown, the drill will charge now, because that is going to just generate haste every time anything goes off. Now, presently, we are not a drill build and don't really want to be a drill build, but like we do have a fiery drill that's doing a shitload of damage. So if I had found a robotics facility or another fiery DJ robot, I would probably go with Dira here. I'd have cut the drill. I'd have the 2 more little guys, or I'd have cut a silver guy and the drill for the robotics facility for the multicast and everything. But having missed all that, you actually go Malefang here to make the drill better. And that's what you're looking for. There's another skill, Hotspot, that does basically the same thing. This means every time the drill goes off, it burns, which means we're triggering more burns to charge the drill faster to make the build better. And I put it on the left because Hotspot is a leftmost item trigger. But having not gotten Hotspot, I'm happy to put it back on the right to get Immolating Sparkle, my fastest item. We're about to go Diamond Victory. The only way we don't is if we get killed instantly, so we take Relax here to mitigate our one and only weakness. This is so fucking crazy. I've never been here before. It's day 10. We have randomly received the artist. I don't want it. It doesn't do anything, right? I don't need the fiery on DJ Robot. I can re-enchant him, which could give me defenses, which would be better than fiery. I have enough offense. He can give me freeze, which is better. It helps against one weapon builds. He can give me slow, which is better. It helps against one weapon builds. He can give me deadly. That's more damage too. And it doesn't really do anything. It really doesn't. This is so weird. This makes me want to do another Dooley Overexplained run. Maybe I'll title this video something else. I think I'm going to give Dooley Overexplained another crack. And this will just be, like, the clickbait thumbnail. I won too hard to do an Overexplained video. Because that's what fucking happens. We didn't dupe a drill, but Pearl just gave us the run on a silver platter. I literally don't have a use for this artist. I can random the drill to like get any other status ailment or a defense. Okay, I think that's right. I'm already burning pretty much on internal cooldown and generating burn when the drill goes off. This can give me defenses that increase my chance of winning, or it can give me a different status ailment. Yeah, sure. Like normally a heal drill is vastly worse than a burn drill, but we're not really a drill build. We're just a tiny little guy build that happens to have a good drill. So yeah, I would rather have the drill heal me. I'd rather have a higher chance of not dying instantly. I'm not even certain it's right, but to me, I think randoming the drill is actually my highest chance of winning the fight. And by the way, we're talking about like a 98% versus a 99% of going Diamond Victory right here. And this guy's fucking dead to rights. He has basically no defenses. He has a bronze seaweed and a silver pearl with no scaling. All of that like wishy-washy bullshit about the artist meant nothing, because 98% of the time, what could you possibly do to survive this on day 10? And I have the starting shield too. There were very few scenarios where any decision on that last day mattered, but frankly, every decision since we got this fiery DJ Robot off of Pearl barely mattered. What an absolutely stupid build. Oh no, I didn't restart. So now in the thumbnail, when I screenshot this rug, people are like, why do you have a 0 burn, 130 heal drill? What's that? I mean, maybe it's clickbait. Maybe I'm just gaming the system. Crazy setup skills. Holy shit, this run. Final Flame is a ton of burn. Rust is start of combat slow. 10% health as shield with 5,000 health on day 10 apparently. +2 burn on all the tiny little guys. 16 crit on the DJ Robot. Stop that in case my opponent actually does anything to me. Void Rage so that all of my items are triggering haste to trigger the drill. Beautiful Friendship so that all the little dudes are scaling all the other little dudes. Grease Fire so the drill is way, way faster, and Strength for a much, much higher starting point. Yeah, if you get an early enchanted DJ Robot, he just kind of wins runs. Especially when it's an enchant that combos with the drill build you are already setting up. Like, I don't know what to say. This build's just fucking ridiculous. So I was saying earlier that I thought stuff like the new Gumball Machine and what's it called, Tropical Island, where they're generating enchanted items that can then stack values like +1 slow per coconut's crazy if you get a slow enchant on the tropical item, that sort of stuff. I was saying that those needed to change, but I didn't know for sure about stuff like Fiery DJ Robot, where rather than scaling other items, it's scaling a thing it creates. I think I'm only okay with this sort of thing existing if it starts at gold tier. Because at silver tier, getting 3 enchanted items is just, like, that just wins runs, right? Like, if you get an enchanted silver item that generates 3 more enchanted items and it's day fucking 5, you win day 5. I think it's too strong beneath gold tier for the enchants to work this way. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But this run was too good. I'm going to go ahead and do a reintroduction of the run because this is not an Overexplained run. This is just a Dooley curb stomp with the new card. And it'll be really well explained for the first 5 days of the run. And then it'll be a steamroller where analysis means little because it's harder to throw than win at this point, it seems. Very good run, got some crazy skills towards the end with Beautiful Friendship and Greasefire. Not 100% sure that the Restorative Power Drill was the right play. Ruined my thumbnail a little bit, I could have had the full burn build, but I technically still do. There's still a little burn 0 icon right there. I don't know. It was a sick run. Sorry it wasn't an Overexplained run. I'll try again tomorrow. But for now, I'm done. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like and subscribe on your way out. It really does help the channel out. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.